pressing 2 o'clock in the morning. I supposed to rejoin the company tomorrow. What does that mean? I'm supposed to go get some ID. You are not a member if you don't got an ID card. If you don't believe me, try it. Try to move around within one of these corporations without an ID card. It's like being inside a corporate building without a name tag, without an ID. You can't pass through none of the doors without an ID in this company, specifically the Corporation of California. You can't eat nor live nor do anything. You can't even get public assistance or get in a homeless shelter. If you have no papers in this paper game, you're the living dead. Show you how it works. There's people out there homeless, right? They have degrees, college degrees, and they're homeless. Let me show you how it works. Say you have a fire and all your important documents get burnt. You could be that person. Because without a birth certificate, they can't issue you your ID. Without your ID, they're not going to give you the birth certificate. And without ID, there is no entrance into anything that is company owned and ran. That means there's no human services, there's no nothing. So, you have to have a membership card. You have to have an ID card. And when you're walking around inside of a corporation, things are classified, restricted. They let you know this isn't a right, it's a privilege. Because you have a permit to do it. Without a permit, you don't have permission. You don't have access to this, you don't have access to that. But that's not the purpose of the note. That's why I'm up this time of night. My day has been taken from me, and I needed it for tomorrow. I might not make it today. Might be tomorrow. I turned on this because I was mumbling to myself about all the events of the day. And something came out that I only mentioned. This is not about the United States. This isn't about any particular race of people. This isn't about persons, places, or things. This is to tell you that when I told you a super intelligence, you can call it the Matrix, you can call it whatever you want, has you. You know it's true, but you don't really see how dangerous, what kind of danger you're in. I'll get to physical danger in another note. These notes are about mental illness and what's wrong with your mind. Now I want to show you an illustration about your world. Your world is ran and depended upon imaginary things that aren't really in the world. They don't exist. And your whole life, your whole societies, your whole worlds, all your function are based on these imaginary things. Like I told you about emotions. People living and dying by something that isn't so. Your heart doesn't do anything but pump blood. It doesn't feel anything. It doesn't do anything. This stuff is happening in your head. And they got you pointing to your chest. And you wondering why certain creatures come here and they don't want to interact and speak with you. Speaking to you is infectious. Mental illness is spread by communication and contact. I've been curing myself for 30, 40 years. I've gotten to where I don't even want to be around people. If you had a deadly disease and you cured yourself of it, would you want to hang out with the carriers? Would you take a chance on being reinfected? I've done this and I've regretted it every time. Every time, friend, foe, family, it don't matter. I regret it. Every time I let a human being get near me, I regret it. Look, your world is run by this thing. You don't think so? You think this is some kind of conspiracy theory, the Matrix, Terminator, and all that, and whoa, the future apocalypse? I'm not talking about the future, not this time. I'm not talking about the past either, not this time. I'm talking about whenever you're listening to this, it is the now. The internet runs your world. Everything functions through it. Everything, if it shuts down, the world shuts down. Where is the internet at? It doesn't exist. It is an imaginary thing, imaginary entity out there in cyberspace. Where's cyberspace at? Where's cyberspace at? Oh, where is it? In your mind? No, it doesn't exist even in your mind. There is no internet. Let me tell you about imaginary. If you can't cut it with a knife, touch it with your hand, push it, shove it, pack it in a box, it doesn't exist. You cannot cut emotions with a knife. You can't affect them with anything in this world. Neither the internet. A computer is real. It was here before the internet. The internet is not. The internet business is an imaginary business with some little cartoons representing it in front of you, and you're buying in. Sitting there playing with the little cartoons like they're real buildings, real stuff. And when you buy things online, you know that's a picture that you're buying, right? You know that's not real stuff, don't you? You're not that far gone, right? You know that's only a picture of an item. That you're not really buying items. You're buying pictures. And then, once you buy the picture, they send you a true item from a real building made by a real factory somewhere that you used to walk in and buy. But now you buy pictures. The pictures are part of the same scheme I told you about texting, taking away your ability to write, and about voice typing, taking away your ability to text. A step-by-step process to fucking make you illiterate. At McDonald's, the kids can't count, so at the fast food places, they have pictures of the food on the cash register. They don't have to know how to count or add up anything. Just push the picture. Wow. Can you say dummy down? They can't read, they can't write, and they can't count anymore. They don't even have imagination because television is so vivid, it does it for them. They never stop and imagine no more. They just look for the next newest movie or video to stimulate, to take the place of imagining or thinking. They can't think anymore. Just Google it. They don't even try to think no more. Just Google it. What is Google? There's a real building full of people called Google. But Google is imaginary. Big, giant, billion-dollar building to represent an imaginary monster. An imaginary monster that has you in its grips. Can do whatever. You can't live without it. See, you know what is saving you? It's not about Google. Don't get mad at them because they got there first. Or they went the extra mile and got the edge. This thing was going on way before them. I'm partial to Google because in my neck of the woods, I found them. It was 2000. No, it was 1997. But I brought them to people's attention in the year 2000. When there was only one internet. Internet Explorer, no, there was Internet Explorer, Yahoo, American Online, that crap. There was no Google. I found it only because I was familiar with the word and what it meant. And that I always liked that word, and I was always taught to aim for that. Do you know what Google means? You might as well say something like infinity. But it has a finite meaning to it. In other words, it means like the most, the highest number that you can think of. Like, I haven't went past quadrillion. That's what comes after trillion. But Google is beyond that. I learned it in a book by Donald Goines, a pimp book called Horse Son. See how I'm not holding anything back? Other people hide things because they're worried what you're going to think, worried about what you're going to think. I already know what you're going to think, and I'm still not worried. I will give you your thoughts. If you try me, I will destroy that crap in your head and put in it what need to be. Right in front of you, right in front of everyone. Smash every principled thought and thing that you believe in and give you the truth. So, that's what I'm upset because I'm not going to get enough sleep. That means they already try. See, every occupation. Let's get to that. All you people out there crying about what's wrong in the world and who's doing what to you and what those people are doing that's so bad. I haven't found one of you that was an angel. Given every opportunity to do things to people, you do things to people. Every job, I studied you. You got your little evil things that you do to people. Like the bus driver throwing people all over the bus before they get to their seat. Like the cashier slowing down or leaving the cash register because she sees you're in a hurry. And she takes it personal like you're rushing her. So she slows down. Every job has these games they play. You got a food stamp card? I can make you slide it twice. Oh, didn't work. Slide it again. Why? Because I just identified you to the whole store. They don't do that to people with credit cards. Oh, If your credit card doesn't go through, it's denied. The the food stamp card accidentally didn't get read. The reader didn't work. Games people play with other people. But then they want to cry and scream bloody murder when people are doing things to them. No one above you is going to cease or desist anything that they see you doing. They feel justified. You're down there in your little corner store screwing the neighborhood. Uncle Sam's going to come screw you. You overcharging them, he's going to tax you to death. Everyone's mad at me. Why? Because everyone was out there doing something wrong and I told it. I did the number one thing tabooed in this world. Whatever you do, you better not never tell the truth on me. You're a traitor, turncoat, a snitch. If you tell the truth on me, you're the bad guy. Look, you little sick puppies. You better back away from me. I'm not buying your bad means good stuff. It means that you're crazy. That's what it means. If up means down, you're insane. And they taught you it was something else. What, cool? Let's get to that. Where's cool at? Can you cut it with a knife? Can you take some home and put cool in a damn freezer? It doesn't exist. It's an imaginary state. It's in the eye of the beholder. Where's love at? Everybody wants a box of that. Where can I buy some? Where can I get some? You can't. Because it doesn't exist. It's a mislabel of a dozen different thoughts. Envy, jealousy, admiration, all kinds of things. Instead of saying those things, they say love. What is the result? They always end up saying, I thought you loved me. Because their idea of love and the other person's idea of love were totally different. Huh? Their idea of green and the other person's idea of green is totally different. Green is green. And when something doesn't follow that rule, it's some crap. Green is real. Love is not. It's a concept sold to you because you were a blank little baby. And they could tell you anything. You know what I saw that really, really did something to me? I saw that if you were raised and your mom was a drug addict, to you that was normal. It wasn't bad or any of that. If your mom's a prostitute, it's normal, it's cool. People whose mom aren't crackheads or prostitutes don't know that. They don't know that what they call wrong is normal to some, was taught to some people to be normal. They steal every day. They have to steal to stay alive and eat. Stealing is not wrong. Stealing is part of our daily routine. It's something like hunting. And back in the days, we go out and we get what we need by any means necessary. haven't had the struggle, so you can only imagine. Okay? Can you imagine a man going out hunting all day and find nothing to bring home to his family? To force to hurry up and run down to the creek and try to catch some fish? And they're tired of fish. That's why he was hunting. How would you like to have those set of problems? Why are you complaining all day? Everyone you complain to is going to tell you the same thing. It could be worse. Why doesn't anyone act like they know all these things that everybody knows? I mean, there's things that are known by everyone in the world. I don't see no one practicing it or acting like they know. They're so far gone. They don't know which way to go. Saying things like, I'ma come up in the world. Like they're gonna rise and levitate and be floating in the clouds above everyone. On top and on the bottom. Where is this going down? Are they dogpiling people in this world somewhere that I don't see? All these people talking about getting on top and being on the bottom. And I see them just walking along the sidewalk. All of them. I don't see nobody standing on nobody else's head or under anyone's feet. But they're walking every last one of them are walking around talking about being on top and being on the bottom. They're so crazy. It's normal. How did this happen? Go read the notes. It's all there like a puzzle for you to put together. Because someone telling you doesn't tell you anything. You must confirm this to yourself. You must verify this yourself. Remember all that other crap that I just chopped to pieces? They told you that, and you believed them. Who's to say this isn't even any different? Sounds good. To hell with that sounds good. Go see if it's good. Don't believe nothing I say. Don't believe nothing no one says. Don't disbelieve them either. Take it in your head. And if the opportunity arises or you want to go research it, find out for yourself and know. The days of believing have ran their length. No more faith, no more belief. Someone asking you to believe is asking you something that can't be proved, asking you to do something that they can't prove to you. And it's not a steady stance. It's not a confident, strong stance. Faith and belief, they're acting like it's some strong stuff. You gotta have faith. It is not. It is weak. It is very, very, very weak. Knowing is strong. Having faith and belief means you're not sure. That's what they mean. You're not sure. Both of them mean you're not sure. And whatever you come after you say you believe or have faith in, you're not sure about that. That's the difference between knowing and believing. You're sure about that, you know. You're not sure about that, you believe. You're sure about that, you know. You have 100% confidence. Faith is false confidence. You have faith in something you believe, like you got confidence in something you know. You're like you could end up dead. You could believe there's a bridge across this canyon and walk your butt on out there. See how long your beliefs hold you up in the air. So, the internet's not real, and it's your whole world. Your world's not real. There's a big sign in the middle of it showing you it's a facade that imagination and imaginary things are being sold to you and told to you like they are a rock that you could pick up and use for a hammer, a wedge. A rock has universal uses, almost as many as a stick. A stick is the most universal thing in this world. It was the stick was the first pen. Stick pen? Yeah, no. But the stick was the first pen. The ability to take a stick and scribble in the sand was the birth of writing. Not the paintings on the wall that they tell you, oh, ancient man did this. No. Previous to that, the stick. I can illustrate the stick to you without going through the gazillion things that a stick can do. Let's do it from a child's perspective. How much money have you spent on toys in your child's life? Don't try to answer that question. You won't hear nothing I say for the next 10 minutes. That's some serious math. But I ask because my kid had a birthday. And I bought him all of this stuff, right? Duple blocks, Legos, I bought him all this stuff, right? To keep him busy, keep his mind going, all that. I had his own room. I see the toys, right? They're out here. And he's in the room playing. But these toys are out here. That part doesn't matter. It's a little exaggerated anyway. The point is, he was in the room playing with some empty 2-liter bottles and string. He had constructed booby traps, all kinds of things. Just 2 liters in string. After all the money I spent on no toys, you're going to keep seeing stuff like that out the corner of your eye. The stick. So I learned. So now, I'm a grandparent. So I go to little children in the family. They walk around and say, we're bored. We don't have no internet. We don't have no phone. Can I use your phone? Hold up, stop. First was the boy. He was running around, getting into things. And the girls too. But they came in later. You'll be able to tell by the examples I'm finna give, because I'm not gonna tell the whole story. We're just here to make a point. I took the stick. And that's where imagination, you're ruling a world of imagination. Look at this. The stick was his sword. The stick was his rifle. The stick was his baseball bat. The stick was his golf club. The stick, you get it, the stick. I got the kid, he could go all day with just the stick and come back tomorrow. The girls is like, so I take the stick from him and I walk over to the dirt. Here's where all this stuff ties together. And I show them hopscotch, 2 square, 4 square, tic-tac-toe, hangman. All this is in the dirt. All this is in an empty space where there's nothing but dirt. Gave them something to do all day. They had a blast. They went to sleep at night. Yeah, on a weekend night, they were asleep. Bet your toys can't do that. Match that with your electronic games. You know what it does? It numbs their mind out. And the sleep they get is bad sleep, where it looked like they had no sleep. My kids had fresh air, muscles increased the next day from the exercise, agility, skills, dexterity, and their mind expanded from using their own imagination. I already covered that. I cannot get into it. It was just the last note when I talked about we used to have an imagination. We used to use it to tell stories to each other and share our thoughts. And we used to gather around the campfire and somebody would tell us these things in their brain. And we would see them in our brain. And it was cool. Then radio came. It was still cool because someone on the other side of radio would tell us these things out of their mind. We thought, but now they were writing it on a piece of paper. But it felt the same. And we see it in our mind. Then came television. Whoop. Now they're writing it on a piece of paper, telling us, and we see it right there. Not in our mind. We no longer have to use our imagination. It's been downhill ever since. You don't know how long television been here. Longer than any of us. That's why I say that. You were not here when they made the first films. When they first came up with movies and silent films and flickered a deck of cards to make a little animated figure look like it was moving, you weren't here. So there's no living witness of this monster and what it's did since it came. There's witnesses of things that it has done. But no one has sit there and watched it from the beginning till now. It has shaped and molded our world. People went out and bought clothes like the clothes they saw on television. It decided how they dress. It decided how they walked, how they talked. They try to decide all of their behavior. But there's always going to be that person who rebels against being a cookie and a pack. That's what keeps it from sticking. You saying I'm not Latino because I don't have no heavy accent and I don't walk around wearing khakis. You know what that's called? A stereotype. Well, television tried to make everyone stereotypes to meet what they thought you were. already because the people behind it, they think like that. Oh, I got another name for them. I'm already calling the clicheans, the metaphorians, and all kind of stuff. So, the stereotypers, the stereotypists, that's what we'll call them. The stereotypists. They can't deal with the fact there's other people in the world without putting them in boxes. That was the original method and system of takeover. Study them, study their behavior. Use that information to either undermine them or destroy them altogether. It's used to this day. Watch a person, learn their routine, kill them. Kill them, make shit hard for them, manipulate them. Give you an example. I took a long walk today, not because I wanted to, because the store I usually deal with didn't have what I usually deal with them for. Why am I hiding it? I went to buy some cigarettes. They didn't have mine at the store that I go to, so I had to go further down the street. Okay, I recovered from the vampire bite. So I'm walking, right? There's a bus stop with a bench. And someone left on it what looks like a brand new pack of cigarettes. This is the proverbial glue the coin to the ground or the table. Only it's not glued. They knew what they were doing when they put it there. Right? And even I went for it. I started to keep walking. I said, nah, I'm going to get cigarettes. It'll be my lucky day to find a whole pack of cigarettes. It was empty. And I realized what had happened. They're probably sitting somewhere with a phone and videotape because it was too perfectly set up. The wind would have blew the pack or something. They were close by. So I went, got my cigarettes, did everything. Now I'm coming back. And right when I'm coming to this bench, I see this guy make a U-turn on his bicycle and go back to the bench and check this pack. He had passed by it. Obviously, I didn't see that part. He thought about it. He saw me coming. He turned around and went back to get it before I got down there and found it. I didn't forget why I even brought that up. You know, it took so long to get to, I can see what it's about, but I forgot. Because right at the middle of it, I was hit by a vampire. And I was able to struggle and work my way back to what I was saying, but no further. Not back to why I was saying it. Now, you know more than I know at this point. You know what I was just talking about, and I don't. Short-term memory loss makes me want to pull out a gun and shoot them and kill them. I don't know what they're thinking, if it's not so bad or bad or whatever. I think that they've been doing it in secret so long, they think it's still a secret. And they're not expecting anyone to, as soon as they do it, turn and look at them and want to kill them, knowing what they just did. They think it's some kind of undercover power that they can get away with. Last year, year before maybe, let me tell you what's going to be by next year. Next year, people are going to find out why you so bold and why you so ready to fight everyone. If I could deflect their punches, I'd be talking crap too. But here's what I've seen always happen that you're not paying attention to. You lack too many things, you can't hold your focus. And as soon as your concentration breaks, they beat the crap out of you. Boy, everybody wants to like, hold up, what is he talking about? Wait, hold up, yeah. Using Jedi mind tricks on you in a fight. What you thought your punches were just missing? How is a missed punch gonna go up in the air? Play it back. You don't know what happened. And your mind said that when it happened. Like, what the hell? Thinking that you couldn't hit them or something, you just wrote it off. But play back the battle. And you'll see what I'm telling you. Why certain people aren't scared to fight people. Why they're extra bold, like they're extra bad. Like we always knew in the hood. When someone gets to acting bold and extra bad like that, they have a gun, knife, something. Compensators. You don't want to arm wrestle with nobody in a wheelchair. And you don't want to go do psychic battles with someone who has a feeble body. Injured body, a disabled body, a weak body. In other words, you're not going to find too many Arnold Schwarzenegger buff psychics. It can be a little nerdy, skinny guy who looks like you snap him in half, who'll be able to choke you with his mind. Compensators. They're here and they're not being discussed. They're being mentioned to. Everyone knows that if you lose your legs, your arms get strong. How come they're not carrying on the conversation and beyond that? They're being deterred. Oh, did I tell you what is wrong with you? That you're not stupid? That it ain't totally your mom's fault? Look, simply, you are hypnotized. If you hypnotize someone to think they're a chicken, that's it, they think they're a chicken. And you have been hypnotized so many times by so many different parties of so many different interests that you're insane. You're not in the real world functioning like a human being anymore. You're like robots that don't work that well. See, a robot can do the same thing perfectly every time. You guys be fucking up. You be misfunctioning. Come on, what would you do with a dysfunctional robot? You've been made into robots, but through overkill, you're dysfunctional. Now, you're beginning to see genocide plans. Too many idiots. I want to be alone, but I don't need all these useless people. I have robots to do everything. I don't need someone who's complaining who wants to go home early because their kid's graduating, who, when I'm not looking, sits down, who has to have a lunch break and day off, and I can just get a machine and cut you out. And my only time I paid the machine is when I first bought it. So, this isn't a hope it don't happen situation. This is brace yourself for impact. You better start making plans. there won't be a garbage man. The truck will come and get the garbage by itself. So sitting there getting fat where you can't go do another job because you ride in that truck all day, we'll see how that works out for you. Talking about, I hear all these people in the world talking about, I don't want to do anything all day. And I get paid big bucks. You won't be in the future. No one's going to get paid for doing nothing. Definitely not getting big bucks for it. So, why, how? When everyone gets sane again, in that sanity is going to be pay people in proportion to their worth. How is their worth determined? First, do you cover your salary? You make $500 a week. Do you bring $500 in through this business? Now, you must at least double that for it to be worth me to hire and pay you, because I have other expenses. Now we're talking about you must make 4 times what you're getting paid in order to justify them paying you. I don't want to go all into the math. So later on, them paying you for nothing? An easy job means less pay. And I could pay you the same as that guy over there sweating bullets. It's going to be an artificial intelligent computer watching everyone. Recognizes your face. It's going to decide what you deserve. Why you thought it was cool because you stood there at the coffee machine all day because there was nobody there to stop you. When your check comes, you're going to see this is the future. Those few people who have jobs, because it won't be many. Job doing what? What are you going to do? The robots plant the food, pick the food, process the food, package the food, and bring the food to you. And we'll cook the food. Where are you going to get a job at? Doing what? This isn't a maybe, I hope it don't happen situation. This is, you better move fast. You better find a self-employed vehicle or start planting a garden in your backyard to feed your family. Now, here's what I'm saying. If you can eat and live, why do you need to work? Eventually, that's how that started. People needed to, there was not jobs. Everybody's home was their farm. And everything they needed, they made and produced themselves. And you didn't have to go get a job and earn money and put down on a house. Just go out somewhere and stick a stick in the land and get to the claims land office, which is, I think, is the biggest Holocaust. I don't even want to talk about. You're going to come. It's like I'll walk in your living room, stick a stick in the carpet, and that in your living room's mine. And you're living there. We were here living here, and these creatures come here and say they discovered America. So I can come discover your house with you living there? They have done horrible, horrible things. But they're dead. They are not the people walking in front of you. I don't care if they look like it. I don't care if it's their great-great-great-great-great-grandson. They didn't do it. I know you want to take it on someone, so you're looking at them. Horrible, horrible things. Horrible things. You think that's not so bad, huh? Taking someone's land. What about all the murdering someone for their house, for the land? I'm tired of people doing all these wicked things. And then when someone comes forth and brings it out, they try to act like that person is wicked or wrong or evil. Ooh. And if a particular group of people do it, he's a racist. He didn't have no control over what color the people, what color the perpetrators of this crime were. He just reported the crime. You want an example? Certain people claiming these made-up occupations that aren't really a job. Forget that. Archaeologists went and dug up my ancestors out of the ground, stole all their jewelry, took them to New York and put them on display. How would they like it if I looked them up? Go find their grandmother, dig her up, take her jewelry, put her on a park bench, and start selling tickets to come see her. Egyptian exhibit. I could kill you for that. And you're going to be talking, thinking you haven't done anything wrong. I'm always seeing certain people about to get murdered talking about, what did I do? What did I do? And then they want to ask why we're calling them dumb. You don't even know what you did? You gotta be past stupid. Because the basic knowledge is, if someone did that to me, I feel like this. But you dummies, sitting there talking about, all I did, I just only about to get killed. Because you can't see what's wrong with what you're doing. That's past the mental problem. Those are mental blocks. And it's also called insane. To not know the consequences of your actions. It's the legal definition of it. It's how they get people off with murder. Because they didn't realize what the outcome of what they didn't know the person was going to die. They didn't know what they were doing was going to lead to someone dying. Not guilty by reason of insanity is based on the person not knowing the consequences of their actions. Matter of fact, that legal term is what has to be sold before you can have somebody committed to a sanitarium. They have to not been able to distinguish what you call reality. The consequences of their action. Now, here's what's so crazy. Those people who say that you can't put anyone in a mental institution unless they have a problem with reality, those people have a problem with reality. Because reality is a fake word that doesn't mean what it implies. it implies what is truly so. But what it represents is a facade painted over what is truly so and built on top of it. Cement, asphalt, buildings and stuff. Try to give you the illusion that you're not in the middle of a forest because they cut down all the trees. But you're still there in the middle of the forest. It's an illusion. That's what a facade is. That's reality. When someone attempted to remake all, to re-all everything, to change everything, to cover themselves. Because they were a lie, their life was a lie. I keep telling you that. I'm tired of people acting like I don't know the truth because I choose to give them the grace of acting like I don't know the truth. But if they ever believe they shit don't stink or their own lies, if they ever look me in my eyes and say they're all a bunch of sleepwalking idiots and I refuse to believe he any different, I'm going to bite them in the face. I never claimed to not be violent. I never claimed any of them things. And if your vote is based on it in them things, we don't need you. Because your vote is supposed to be based on one thing. Who can do the best job? Who can do the job? If the job is picking up orange cones along the highway, and there's a guy who can do it while he's running, that's the guy who gets the job. So all my ways don't take away my qualifications for being the greatest mind to put at the desk, for being the best strategist, for being the top social scientist to get our society together. None of the bruises and bumps that have occurred along my life has anything to do with that. How many times my leg been broken has nothing to do with being president. Don't try that crap when I run. I'm going to come after you like I had a gun. I'm not going to stand behind a podium and try to do a rebuttal. You try to destroy me, I'm going to destroy you first. You try to destroy me with lies, I'm going to shoot you with the truth. Shoot you dead with the truth. Take away everything from you, even your self-respect. I got 2 minutes. And thinking of what I was going to say in that 2 minutes, I was getting ready to say a half hour of things. Everything leads to something else. I was way over there talking about little kids and about I have fans in first grade or smaller. And it's not like I'm out there seducing little girls. It works like this. It trickles down. They do whatever their older sisters are doing. And it really, with me, it works like this. Grandma's crushing, mom's crushing, sister's crushing, auntie's crushing. And it basically worked, hey, if they are wearing yoga pants, I'm going to wear yoga pants. And I was thinking about, I'm not in favor of yoga pants. Lusty men are, because they really wish everybody was naked. But I'm not in favor of little girls walking around with a fake layer of skin over them and everybody saying they're legally dressed. And every dirty man, understand this. Once upon a time, they danced. And they got too bold. They start talking about being independent women and not needing a man. And I have my own money. And boom, boom, boom. And man is not this and man is not that. And they put in a plan to secretly break them down. Now, your daughter and everybody is out here doing dances that were only done in a strip club. They broke them all the way down from independent woman to a hoe. Still want her to wear yoga pants? Your daughter's out there twerking and some old pervert is watching. Acting like, oh, look at her, she sure can dance. That is not dancing. That is humping your damn ass in the air with your camel toes showing. It don't resemble dance in no kind of way. You know it's a man's world. They let that pass. They're all pervs and deviants. Ooh. Sex fiends. Before this note ends, let me hit you real quick about man. Remember this. Woman, man wants to subdue you and play God over you. Can't even identify yourself without him. Female, woman, man, and even she got he in it.